Folks, what a bounce in Bitcoin and the altcoins, especially the altcoins. They seem to be coming back with some strength. But is this a fake out? And who could have predicted this? Look at what's happening on the Bitcoin chart. If you've been watching my videos for the last two videos, this is exactly what we've been talking about, right? A bounce out of this downward wedge, right? For folks in my Discord as well, they know what I'm talking about. If you've been watching my last two videos, right, the longer ones, you know this is what I'm talking about. So basically, just a quick recap, and I'll show you guys. By the way, in this episode, I'm going to show you my forecast for where Bitcoin is going ultimately. My end of bull cycle, end of bull run, major projection on where Bitcoin is going. Is it going to 150K, 200K, 250K? Is it going to $1 million? Hey, is it going to $1 million? Okay, I'll show you guys where I think it's going. Before we get there, let's recap on what Bitcoin is doing right now. So basically, this is a falling wedge, right? A wedge that is pointing downwards. And I said, we'll probably get one more dip here, and then boom, up it goes. The dip only got to as low as 92. I was expecting more like 91K, fake out, and then boom, up it goes. It needs to get above the red line and the blue line, I said, which is around 95.6 here. Let me just put that into log. On log, it's 94.7-ish area. And if we hold that for a second, if we retest and hold that on a close for a second day, like today, then I think we're well on our way. So first target, I said, was about this 101K area, because this 101K area, let me just extend that so we can see better. Because this 101K area, or 102 if you want to be precise, is basically the top of or the bottom of this rising channel right here, right? 102K area. I'm expecting resistance here to like it does, boom, boom, right? So I'm expecting something like this, 102, boom, and then come back down, retest, and go up again. If it does get into this channel again, this rising channel, then I will. Then I would say the target is around 113 to 115 area, which seems to be something like around here, right? Now, how did I come up with that target? This is going to be a very interesting episode because it's the first, well, maybe the second time that I'm going to try to predict where Bitcoin is going ultimately with this whole bull run. And on top of that, I will also talk about where altcoins are going and how we can have an altcoin season, right, with regards to where of my ultimate top in Bitcoin. I'll not give you just the price, but also the time of when this would happen as well. But before we do get onto Bitcoin, all-time high projection for this cycle and the altcoin cycle, let's answer the question of where does Pablo trade for his crypto exchange? Well, Pablo uses the non-KYC exchange. That means you don't have to show your ID. That means Americans can use it, right? Because you don't have to show your ID. That means your IRS, your tax office, right? Your CIA, FBI, nobody can see you, right? It's high on privacy. That's what a non-KYC exchange is, right? It has lots of advantages. And the one I use is this Bitunix, which right now for newbies have this $5,500 of benefits, right? And it's the largest 1.3 mil users already, largest non-KYC exchange out there, which means you get good feels and very, very small spreads compared to some of the others. And the way to find it, it's in the link description. The link is in the description below. If you're on YouTube or if you're on any other platform, just go to my page, my own page, whatever platform you're on. There's a stand link right there, and if you click on that, then basically the first thing that comes up is Bitunix, because this is the big deal that I'm doing with Bitunix right now. Okay, but only on this link, only on Pablo's link for these amazing deals. Let's get back to it. So Bitcoin. So my projection for where Bitcoin goes this entire bull run. Okay, so this is first of all, keep in mind. Let's do a weekly chart. First of all, keep in mind that let's do a regular chart. See how most of the time I use logarithm chart for Bitcoin, but this time I'm using a regular chart, right? A regular chart, it means it's not non-log, which means the price here on the sidebars goes up like evenly, like every 5K, right? It goes up one grid. So that's what a log chart is, a natural chart is. And I've shown this once before, right? And if we link the high 2017 December, 64K high, 69K high, and here we arrive at 108K. And I also called 108K top, and look at this, this was perfect, right? And then we have this big pullback. I also called, if you remember, the top at 108K, but I was using top of the rising channel. This is a much bigger, right? This is like a seven year trend line. And I didn't think the market would respect a regular chart trend line like this rather than a log trend line, but it did and responded pretty well. So here, now, then where do we go from here? If you've been watching my videos, you will see that all this time I have been saying, showing it on a 4-hour chart for the last 2 or 3 videos, and I keep on saying, hey guys, look at this, right? Let me just dumb this thing down. Okay. See this downward wedge pattern that we just broke out of. Basically, it's reminds me this drop from 108K and then downward wedge, right? Bouncing off a very, very important support area, because if that breaks, Bitcoin could go to 73K. And then basically bouncing up, breaking out. This is a chart pattern that we have seen before. And it is from that famous 30K period where Bitcoin actually dumped here, dropped to 30K. Again, the bottom was around 30K and it tested us with this 28K candle, right? And then bounced up, right? So we could be here, right? Judging from the action we're seeing right now. And then Bitcoin kept on going, rallying, and went above the previous all-time high and went to 69K here. That was the top of the last Bitcoin cycle. So what I think just happened, even though this is the daily chart, the one I showed you before, or the 4-hour chart, I believe this is a price fractal. And what happened is basically we've just dropped. We've had this drop down here and this wedge inside here, and then bounce up, maybe get rejected at 102K, pull back, and then boom, up it goes again and hit an eventual top somewhere here. This would be around 115K-ish area. Let me show you. That's just copy this area, right? All of this chart action, and we copy and paste it here. Copy and paste it here, right? This is what we get. Now, let me put that into a 4-hour chart so we can see it better. Let's do it as a 4-hour chart. Okay, so this is what I posted, and I'm now gonna turn up the opacity on it. So now you can see it better. So this is the chart pattern of what happened in July 2021, when Bitcoin crashed from like the 60s down to 30K, dipped to 28K, scared everybody, and then started bouncing. All right, it bounced and then basically pulled back. And this seems to indicate it gets to about 104 and then pull back. If we are basically using exactly, right, is expecting an exact repeat, which it doesn't happen exactly, but it's kind of close. If this fractal continues to play out, then we get a push up to 100. I said 102. So, but this is showing us 104K area. So low 100s and then pull back, right? Below to around say 97, 98, right? Make everyone think this is all over and then comes back again. And remember, this is that big trend line. This red line is that big trend line from 7 years ago, from 2017. Boom, get above and we think, oh yeah, bull market is back on. We're breaking above the trend line, but no, it pulls back. And then boom, goes again. Yeah, this time definitely, we've done the retest and now this time definitely going through. This is showing at 103K. Let's call 104, 105, right? Just in case. And then boom, pulls back. And then as we know, we go into that bear market. And this is showing, according to this timeline, this happens somewhere in late Jan. Now, you know, what I like about this is that if this lines up with a Trump inauguration is Jan 20th, around here, right? Around here. If this chart lines up and we have this sort of action where Bitcoin hits this trend line around 109, 110, 111, and it's doing these ones around Trump's inauguration or slightly after Trump's inauguration, I would think we have a buy on news, sell on rumor situation, and we have a massive pullback. Now, so that would happen if we get Bitcoin going up to around the 108, 110 area around Trump's time of inauguration. If it doesn't, then maybe the chart, this prediction, won't quite be as accurate. This is just that one rough idea of what could happen, right? Of what could happen. If this turns out not to be the final top for this bull run, I mean, there's, you know, a lot of people are saying, judging by the, 4-year cycle, we could run to say, June, July, August, even third, fourth quarter of 2024 because of the 4-year cycle, because the previous cycle, the previous bull top was November 2021. So 4 years on top of that is November 2025. And if people front run that one, then it could be October 2025. So we still have like another 10 months to go, according to that logic. But I am more worried. I am a lot more worried than those guys are. And I think we'll probably see the top earlier. It could be as early as February or March, as the chart is indicating. I'll tell you guys why. So here is, for example, here is the monthly chart. Well, for one, so that red line I just showed you guys, right? That red line. So now you know where it comes from. It's basically the top of connecting these major tops from the last 3 major tops, and it hits this 108K exactly. But more than that, look at this. This is a massive top and tail in Bitcoin. Massive top and tail. So then usually we have like 1 or 2 bars screwing around, fluctuating around here, and then down it goes. It's not always accurate. It's not 100%. There can be a fake out. But, let's have a look at the volume. It isn't huge volume, so it's not quite as strong a signal. If we get a massive big volume bar here, then we should be really more worried about this. But it is a big topping tail nevertheless, and it comes, look at this, right on the top of that rising trend line at 108K. So this is something to take notice of. If things change, I'll let you guys know what I'm thinking of, if I have a new idea on where Bitcoin is going to top. If I do, I'll tell you guys, and as always, I'll tell you guys before the action happens, probably a few days or even a week or 2 before the action happens, right? Not afterwards, right? So I'll tell you guys before if I change my mind. So I'm not 100% sticking with that. Let's quickly have a look at a few of the altcoins and see where they could be going. So others, this is the total crypto market cap of coins outside the top 10. So that's like, Phantom, Algorand, Atom, Pepe, those coins. So it's the smaller, the large altcoins outside the top 10, they're in this bull flag, which looks good, right? About to bounce up. And here was, it's exited the bull flag, which is good, but still, I think there's lots of resistance here at this 365K billion area. If it can close above to say 369, 370 billion, no, I think we're confirming another altcoin season, and it's quite bullish. Some might even look at it and say this is shoulder, head, shoulder, and inverse. Shoulder and head, shoulder, and basically up it goes. So I want you guys to take a good look at this thing. This is the bottoming tail, right? And basically, okay, before we get onto that, I want to show you guys, say, what happens when Bitcoin, some people might be like, oh no, Pablo said, Bitcoin is topping out. Well, see here, this is in March, in in April 20, right? Bitcoin topped around here, right? But altcoins, this is around 270 billion, but altcoins still went up to 421 billion. Wow, that's like a 50% run. That's still a very big run. Even when Bitcoin, this is when Bitcoin topped around 69K. Altcoin still kept on going. That's a big run. And then, remember, Bitcoin topped in around here, right? Around here at 64K, but altcoins went on to top in late November, and it topped at 486 billion, 484 billion. Which is about, and here is about 400. So which is about 20% higher, 20 to 25% higher than the previous high. So even though, and that's a pretty big run, that's a big altcoin season. So just because, I'm saying that Bitcoin is likely, in my current projection, and I could change this, watch out for my new updates, and this could change the next few weeks of where Bitcoin's ultimately going, somewhere topping around 112 to 115K, around say late Feb or even early March. But however, we can still in the next 6 weeks, 9 weeks, 10, 12 weeks, still have a massive big altcoin run, right? These things change quickly, and I'll change my opinion if I'm proven wrong or if one of my charts get invalidated. I'll keep you guys updated on all of this. Okay, thank you for tuning in. Catch you for next.